Guys, I'm Victoria Grant and thank you for tuning in to this episode of Victory Granted TV. I know that for some of you watching, this may be one of many attempts at trying to finally overcome the effects that depression may be having on you or a loved one. So I just wanted to say that I commend you for being brave enough to reach out in an attempt to, really find the resources needed to get you or your loved one back to the happy place that deep down you deserve to be. Now, depression affects people in different ways, and there's some telltale signs that come along with it. However, no one size fits all when it comes to this condition. Now, the most common feelings that are associated with depression are ones of unhappiness, hopelessness, and feeling really quite tearful at times. There can also be physical symptoms too, such as being constantly tired, sleeping badly, or having no appetite or sex drive, and various aches and pains in your body. Along with this, you could feel a general loss in carrying out even minor tasks, or not wanting to socialize with others. And while mild depression may cause you to feel low in spirit, severe depression can even make you feel suicidal and believe that life's not worth living. Now, if you've noticed that you've been experiencing any of the above symptoms on a regular basis, then please let me assure you that you're not alone. There's millions of people worldwide who have suffered with depression at some point within their lives, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. Life can sometimes feel really overwhelming, and with the constant daily demands and pressures that so many of us face, it's understandable that at times things just may seem like everything's just a bit too much to handle. But there is hope, and I'm here to let you know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and that no matter how long you've been, struggling with these feelings, it's never too late to make a change and begin living your life to the full. Can I just add that if you are feeling suicidal, then there are many helplines out there that you can contact, or indeed go and speak to your doctor for support and advice. Please don't suffer in silence or alone. Your life is worth so much. So please do speak to a family member or a friend, or as I mentioned, your GP or a helpline, and let someone help you. Now, what I want you to realize is that we live in a universe based on many laws. Now, these are not laws that are put in place by governments, but they're actual quantum physics. It's quantum physics, and it governs us all. And the two laws that I wanted to focus on today are the laws of attraction and the laws of motion. So let's begin with the law of attraction and how I believe that it can coincide with the topic of depression. So if you understand anything about the law of attraction, right, then you'll know that this is a powerful energy that operates on attracting its, like for like premise. And what that means is that the more you do or think something, the more the law of attraction will bring you more of the same. And one of the most powerful things in this universe is momentum, right? Now, if you can just imagine for a second that, there's a river flowing downstream really fast and hard with lots of rapids and a really strong current, and you're on a kayak boat sailing downstream also with the tide, right? And you see ahead that you're approaching the edge of a waterfall. Now, how do you think that you might avoid going over the edge? Not a simple solution. I guess just like at this point you'd have to hold on tight and pray for a smooth landing once you've fallen over the waterfall. Pretty impossible to think you'd get out of that situation at that point. Now, remember that the law of attraction will keep giving you more and more thoughts to match the ones you keep having until a pattern of thoughts is created, and then your pattern of thoughts build up into a momentum. And just like the river, these then literally run away with you until you can get to a point where you feel like you're going over the edge of the unknown, and there's no parachute. Now, I understand that people have negative thoughts or feelings for many reasons, and lots of these would be more than warranted and valid. Yeah, you know, maybe something or someone hurt you and you couldn't defend yourself, and now you have a resentment against that thing or that person that did you wrong, and I get it, okay? Or maybe everything seems to be going wrong in your life, and no matter how hard you try, nothing seems to be going your way. However, even if you know deep down that your feelings are justified, by being depressed and feeling like this, the only one who's being affected or hurt and upset by it is you, not the person or thing that, you know, was causing you the pain. And the longer you decide to stay in this negative state, then the more likely it will be the momentum continues, and you know, that's when deep depression settles in and the cycle continues. When you're depressed, more depression must follow. You know, it's a law of attraction. Another thing that causes depression, right, if you don't know, is drugs. These can be legal or illegal highs, or suppressants. You know, what comes up must come down. So anything that causes you to chase a temporary high will ultimately leave you low as a result, until obviously you find that substance and get high again, and the cycle continues. So if you are using drugs to escape reality and find that you are also depressed, then this is definitely going to be the root cause of your problem. Either way, it's not a solution, right? So focus on releasing that unhealthy habit first, and your depression will probably, you know, begin to start lifting. Now, I wanted to also explain the universal law of motion and why this is another player, you know, important player, especially when it comes to managing or even curing your depression. So the law of motion says that every action has an equal and opposite reaction, and that good actions will inevitably have good consequences. Even with little or no effort, there's always going to be movement, yeah, and motion on a cellular and energy level. No thing can ever be truly still. This is the law of motion. Vibration and energy is constant, and we're all part of this vibrating field of energy. However, if you've ever seen a glass of water, for instance, sit there for a few days without being moved, you'll know that just by its stagnation alone, that the water will become stale and impure, so, you know, no longer fresh or suitable to drink. And the same can be said for us humans, who are also made up 70% of water, as is the planet. The more you remain stuck in a negative state of mind, then the more you will adapt to your surroundings and become like the water, stale, you know, in your mind. If you want to move out of a negative state of mind, then it will literally require motion. That is law. I understand how painful it can be, right, when your world seems so small and simply getting out of bed is just like a chore. There's nothing to look forward to, no hope of joy, you know, nothing that you want to do. You just want to lie in bed all day. I get it, because I was there in my early 20s. I suffered with depression, and so on many levels, I believed that my only answer at that time was to just give up. And it took some serious soul searching and my own real self-love journey to pull me out of that place, you know, and realize that I was here for a reason. And not only me, you're here for a reason too. There's no magic pill that's going to make everything better, or convince you that your feelings aren't real. They are, but what they're not is they're not more powerful than you. Yeah, your spirit or your creator. You're important and you're here for a reason. You know, your life matters, and without you there would be a void in humanity. Literally, remember that you're a fighter, you're a winner, and you fought over 1 million sperms to get here. Now, the first step to healing yourself is believing you can. And even if you can't see a purpose for your life right now, there is one, and you'll only ever know what that is by sticking around to find out. The second step to healing yourself is simply just smile, whether or not you feel like it. Like, just try it now, just smile. Yeah, healing depression is not easy, and you'll now have to begin the really focused work of watching your thoughts, literally watching them, and replacing every negative one with a more uplifting one. If up until now, yeah, you've been thinking life is crap, life is rubbish, no one will care if I die, then just try replacing it with life is an exciting journey, an adventure, and feelings are temporary. Remind yourself that this too will pass, and know that your perception is what equals your reality. Now, the third important step to healing is to watch the foods and other substances that you're feeding into your body. These are going to have an effect on the way you feel, so make fresh foods instead of choosing processed or fast food options, and stay away from recreational drugs and other stimulants, even coffees and energy drinks, for instance. Find something that you enjoy to do, and do it often. If you don't know what that is, then try new things. Get out of your comfort zone, get out of your own way. Yeah, motion creates motivation, and just because you don't feel like doing something doesn't mean that you shouldn't give it a go. Your feelings are temporary, and they only become real because you choose to focus on them, and give them importance. You feed them over and over again the more you believe in them. So start the journey of feeding yourself positive thoughts. No matter how weird it seems, this is the only way to slay the dragon of depression, right? You must starve it. So stop feeding the fire with negative thoughts. Now, if you've never really practiced positive thoughts, then I can appreciate how foreign this concept might seem. You might believe that life is against you and that luck is only meant for a few people, but not you, and that's just not true. But if that's the case, I just wanted to share with you a really quick story on perspective. Now, so once there was a king, right, and he was rich and powerful as most kings are, but he was not very wise, so he kept with him a wise man. Now, this wise man was his counsel, and the king relied on his wisdom every day. The wise man didn't believe in things being good or bad. His belief was that everything is exactly how it's supposed to be, right? It is what it is. Anyway, one day, the king, who was quite fat, he's a fat king, he was getting out of his royal bed in the morning, and he fell on the hard concrete floor, and as such, he smashed his elbow. Now, the king was in so much excruciating pain, and he couldn't understand why this has happened. So he called his counsel, the wise man, and asked him, why has this happened to me, right? So the wise man, true to form, says, King, this is fine, this is okay, it's not a bad thing. But the king was furious. He was so angry, and he wondered if the counselor has lost his mind, and he instantly ordered the guards to take him away to jail, take him to the dungeons. Now, weeks went by, and the king stayed in his castle, not leaving the grounds. He laid around for the next few weeks until he started to heal. Anyway, a little while passed, and he decided, I feel okay, I'm going to take a ride. Yeah, I've been in this castle for too long. So he saddled up his best horse, and off he went, galloping. He went so far galloping, he left his kingdom. Yeah, and it wasn't till it was late that he realized, oh my gosh, I'm lost, where am I? At that time, he noticed that there were some men coming towards him with spears, and he recognized them as a tribe he'd heard of that were cannibals. Anyway, these cannibals led the king to their village and threw him in a cage. So the king watched as they had an open fire and drums, and they started dancing around this open fire, and there was nothing he could do, He knew that he was on the menu. So eventually they came, they opened the cage, they took the king out, told him to take his clothes off, and then they realized, there was something wrong. They saw his elbow. So they was upset, they were furious. They threw him back on his horse and, told him, go. So the king didn't know what had happened. He just got on his horse and galloped back to his kingdom. As soon as he got to the castle, he immediately told the guards to take him to the dungeon. He needs to see his counsel. And they did. So they opened his cell door, and he told the wise man everything that had happened. And the wise man smiled and said, see, The cannibals didn't eat you, king, because you were not perfect. He said, but what about you, you know? What about you? You were here in jail. Wise man said, well, if I weren't in jail, I would have definitely been with you. I'm always with you, king. So they would have eaten me, right? So the moral of the story is there's really no such thing as good and bad. Everything just is what it is, you know, and it's just your perception of it that makes it what it is. Now, I really hope that this has helped to shift some of your beliefs when it comes to depression. I know it's not easy, and I pray that, you know, you start focusing on becoming the best version of yourself. Thank you for watching. I really enjoyed making this video, and I hope that you enjoyed watching. If you haven't already, then please head over to victorygranted.co.uk and subscribe to my blog, and I'll send you my free ebook, 3 Keys to Unlocking Your Power. And don't forget, if you like this video, then give it a thumbs up, yeah? Subscribe to my channel. Please share this important message with a friend. Someone needs to hear it. And leave me a comment below if you've overcome depression. How did you do it? Right? What methods did you use? What are you going through now? Your information could help one of the visitors to this channel. So let's help each other. Let's build a community. And once again, thanks for watching, guys. Take care.